I'm not speaking so fast, but I'm just speaking things that is so direct that you can actually jot down keywords and you can actually understand what I am trying to deliver on each slide. Those who have actually got on my webinar before, I don't do very long texts. I don't do slides with a lot of words. I want you to pick up things from what I say and jot down those keywords, you know, and you will be able to understand and perhaps memorize and get into practice much easier. This is how I learn, so I hope to share with you. And if you have a paper and pen next to you, you just jot down as I go along. Okay, so let's begin. Now, like I say, everybody talk and speaks, but why we still have communication problem? Try to that is not working sometimes, you know. I think I'm not so complicated in my words. I don't think so I speak jargon. I don't think so I am talking about things that the other person don't understand. But why he's not getting me? Why my message is not across? I guess we are having that problem. At the end of the day, I told myself that we are just all human beings. It is a matter of one understanding the other person. But today's session is not to give you the basics. Today's session is to give you the understanding, and to once you understand, you will be able to identify the problem, because everybody have different problem, but you will be able to overcome some of the challenges that you may not know or something new to you today. So you get into practice. So I just put this slide, which is very interesting. It's just that I don't want, what they say, I don't want a menu, I want a drink. So why are you making it so hard? You know, I have this problem all the time when I walk into a restaurant, and there's foreigners serving you something else that you do not want, because it's a language problem. But on a generic communication problem, this is happening everywhere, is being misunderstood easily, is causing a lot of problem that at the end you don't get what you want, and the person is very frustrated after a certain while. So these are the scenario. Okay, why is it so difficult to understand? You know, especially communicating with our spouse. Sometimes it ends up in a very ugly way. You get into arguments, quarrels, and fights, which is not necessary, but it stems from communication problem. Apart from being misunderstood, these are another factor why it makes communication so hard. Sometimes we act in a certain way and we portray a different message that allows other people to judge you. So being judgmental can affect the outcome of a communication. So I always say, don't judge anything, just try to understand before you say anything. So don't judge, one, and don't try to assume. If you're not clear with the assumption, if you're not clear with what the person is trying to say, certainly do not go into the assumption mode. Certainly do not assume, oh, I thought that it's this, I assume, you know what I'm trying to say. No one knows what you are trying to say until you're very clear in what you are trying to say. So don't assume, don't judge, don't get into arguments that is going to go in a different corner, because at the end of the day, we do not know, we don't want people to be unhappy. We don't want our mood and our emotion to be affected, and that's it. The whole day is gone. Most importantly, if you're in sales, you do not want to make a person not happy, because that person may be a customer, may be interested in something that you are offering. Later part, I will talk about a little bit about how you start it right. You will be able to close a sale easily. You don't have to ask for it, but you will be able to understand why the person's wanting to know more about your products and from what level to another level. Okay, so the key is to be smart, to communicate smartly, to be smart in your communication even before you start a conversation. Communication is, number one, is key in building relationship. And I guess everyone agrees to it. The only thing is that some people are good at it, some people are not good at it. But I will show you a different way of looking into communication. Perhaps you'll be able to understand communication better. If you take communicating is a way out of seeing it as a skill. They say that, oh, I got to be skillful in how to interact with people. I got to be skillful in how to connect. If I have to be skillful, you know. If you look at communication as a skill, it's very challenging for you to improve a skill because you have lack of practice. But if you look at communication as a way of innovation, you innovate how you speak, how you talk, how you think, it will be different. I have very challenging problem also when I talk to technicians, engineers, those very structured personality kind of person. It's very difficult to reach out to them and connect with them. So I try to find a way to connect with these people because they're very passive, they don't talk much, they are very stiff with their disposition, you can't read what they're thinking. It's very tough to connect with them, and I'm sure some of the engineers that you know have that kind of a behavior or kind of personality, right? I'm not saying they're bad, it's just that it's challenging for people who want to know more about them and read what are they trying to say. So when I look at this, okay, they're technical, they're engineer. If I find a way on how I innovate my speech or my delivery and connect with them, it will be easier because I'm not skillful in talking to engineers either. So I'm sharing with you, if you have that challenge, try to innovate because when you connect to technology, this is what happens. You see yourself are able to connect with any computers, you are on wireless mode, you'll be able to sense, you're connected. You know, you're like that gadget in the middle. You are able to connect on Mac, on laptop, on mobile phones, you are in sync with them. So everybody connects with gadgets nowadays, right? Everybody has smartphone, everybody are on wireless to a certain extent. So I put that analogy in to help you to understand. It's easier for you to understand what blocks communication and what are the things that you you can change to help you to improve communicating. All right, so I hope that helps. That piece of tips help. So I will go on. Okay, this is a sign of Uber, right? I think Ivana is very smart, you know, in putting out a message like this. She introduced Uber Talk, and I went in and do a lot more innovation about Uber Talk. So what we are trying to say, or I'm trying to put forward today, is how to talk smartly in a way. I call it Uber Talk because at the end of the day, Uber Talk is only meaning to connect with the person that you want to converse with. If you think a little bit deeper, so I call it Uber Talk. If you think a little bit deeper, Uber means something that is of a supreme level, extreme, of a higher degree, to an extent that it reaches its objective. So these are some of the definitions that I pulled out from TNAT to help you to understand why I call it Uber Talk and why Ivana smartly comes up with such a term that really interests people to understand. Communicate to connect is actually Uber Talk. You are finding a way on how to connect at the highest level that the other person will be able to understand you, and it's easy. Right? So from now on, I will just talk about Uber Talk, which is our objective is only to connect deeply with the person that you're conversing. Do I get it? Yeah. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
I
so
hear it, but there's a lot of distortion.
Add on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
To add on to the audience, actually, if I wanted to put there like talk Uberly, then people would think that I'm trying to interview the founder of Uber. So I put Uber talking is Farhani will teach one level above smart talking. It's like if you are currently attending this webinar, you will not only talk smartly, you will talk Uberly. So we say Uber. So this webinar is actually Uber talking webinar.
Yes, very smart.
Email. So now I want to add on every one of you. That's why you need to listen very closely to Farhani. Okay? And
thank you, Ivan.
Talking. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Go ahead, Farhani.
Yeah. On generic, I'm sure all speakers will speak about communicate with the intention to connect. But Uber Talk is to communicate with